Here's the deal. Ontario, Canada, is threatening to revoke Jordan Peterson's license. You know who he is. Personality in the media, psychologist, for criticizing Justin Trudeau. Now, I always think Jack Trudeau. I know Jack Trudeau. All right. Here's a little Twitter thread for you on what is happening with Jordan Peterson. This will be interesting for you because you don't want this happening in our country. You don't want things happening like this in our country where if you criticize, and we're starting to see it, if you criticize our government, then they're going to revoke your professional license. They're going to revoke your ability to make a living. They're going to revoke what it is that you do because you disagree with the government. That's no. Let's go to the Twitter. Let's go to the Twitter thread from Jordan Peterson. Listen to this. The Ontario College of Psychologists has demanded that I submit myself to mandatory social media communication retraining with their experts for, among other crimes, retweeting Pierre Poilievre and criticizing Justin Trudeau and his political allies. That's dangerous, is it not? All the stuff I have been accused of harming people, although none of the complainants involved in the current action were clients, past or present, or were even acquainted with any of my clients. The world is nuts. See, here's the deal. Keep going. I think there's one more, maybe not. I am to take a course of such training with reports documenting my progress or face an in-person tribunal and suspension of my right to operate as a licensed psychologist. How about that? Hey, look, about a dozen people from all over the world submitted complaints about my public statements on Twitter and Rogan over a 4-year period out of the 15 million who follow me on social media, claiming that I had harmed people, not them, with my views. How do you get harmed by a tweet? How do you get harmed? He tweeted that, hell, I had an article, a freaking hate article written on me, and all it did was help. Just made people think the guy that wrote it was an idiot. How do you get harmed by a tweet? You harmed me. You did? What'd I do? No, you harmed me. Yeah? What happened? You harmed me. Now, shut up. I don't know. This one I love. This is the best thing I saw all weekend. Last week, Kayvon Thibodeau made snow angels on the field after sacking Nick Foles. Problem was, Nick Foles was hurt. Thibodeau said he didn't know. He was celebrating a sack. What are you going to do? He went with 10 snow angels. Yeah, he did. So Jeff Saturday, the moron who is currently the leader of men of the Indianapolis Colts, called it trash and really ripped Thibodeau and said he going to address the fact that none of his players, zero, zip, nada, none of them bashed this guy in defense of a hurt Nick Foles. Now, I understand the optics aren't great given what happened later on the next day with Damar Hamlin, but how is Thibodeau to know this? So Thibodeau, this I love. See, people think when you're Jeff Saturday or you're anybody and you made the Pro Bowl because Peyton Manning put his hands under your ass and you won a Super Bowl because Peyton Manning was really good. People think in Jeff Saturday's position that they are known forever. That they, oh my God, they are known forever. Really? All right. Well, here's what Thibodeau had to say about Jeff Saturday.
That's what I'm saying. Who's the gatekeeper of when to do something? So once we figure out who the gatekeeper is, then we can write the rules and then we can establish, the narratives and things like that. But until, you guys actually are in the sport and do it and be in that moment, you can't create a narrative on it,
Well, we're not creating a narrative on it. The other team's coach had a problem with it. He's the guy who played the game. The
That's
other
what I'm
team's
saying.
players
I don't
had a
know
problem
who he
with
is.
it.
No, I just don't know who. Like anybody who comments on it, unless I know who they are, doesn't really affect me. That's it.
Well, you can tell he's young, he's immature, and he's just kind of, yeah. I mean, and he's a guy who dropped in the draft because of the things that I just mentioned, but he's uber talented, and he's been uber talented the last few days. I love guys like Trey Wingo. Trey Wingo says, let me help you, Kayvon. He's a 13-year veteran, Super Bowl 41 champ, 5-time Pro Bowler, 4-time All-Pro. He snapped for Peyton Manning and Aaron Rodgers. Well, he got benched with Aaron Rodgers because he came to the Packers and tried to do Jeff Saturday things, which is be a clubhouse lawyer. After being undrafted, if you're lucky, you'll have his career. I love media guys, right? So Jeff Saturday, I bet, worked with the clown Trey Wingo, and I do think Trey's a clown, and I told him as such when he was an idiot to me one day on Mike and Mike, and he had to apologize, and I still have the apology, but he's an idiot. I got no respect for him. He's just a guy. He's a guy trying really hard.